Good morning, investors and traders. This is Naeem Azam, Chief Market Analyst at AvaTrade, and welcome to our daily fundamental update on our YouTube channel. It's an honor, as always, to be here. Before we begin, it is important for me to go through this disclaimer and responding. Anything which will be discussed cannot be perceived as an advice. If you are seeking for one, please do consider consulting with your own advisors. Now, folks, let's have a look at this stock market. Yesterday, the Dow Jones index dropped over 900 points. And that was the biggest one-day drop since mid-June. Now, if you are wondering why there has been such a massive drop in terms of the stock market and what does it really mean in terms of the future path of the stock market, that is why I am here to explain and break it down to you guys. Now, folks, the sell-off is primarily because of the surge in coronavirus cases. It seems like that the situation with the coronavirus is getting out of hand, because one day the daily surge for coronavirus cases are really going through the roof. And as we discussed yesterday, that different government officials are trying their best to bring some sort of a ceiling for these ones so that they can really bring them down. So now France is officially in a lockdown. And what does that mean? But this lockdown, folks, this is quite important for you guys to understand. This particular lockdown, even though it is a national lockdown, it is not as strong, and then you won't read it unless you won't know it unless you really go into the details. It's not as strong as it was at the beginning of this year, because schools are still open. Yes, non-essential shops are closed, but so within that category, the shops are open. So it is not a full lockdown of an economic activity. We are still seeing economic activity happening, but despite the fact we saw massive sell-off in terms of the French stock index, which, by the way, is called CAC 40, which dropped well over 3% yesterday. But today I'm seeing a bit of a bounce in that particular index, which is certainly very positive. So overall, what we got to do is we got to look at the current situation and then clear the noise and then say that, okay, yes, lockdowns are coming, nothing to worry about because we were expecting of that. But the only thing that we wanted to keep an eye on is how fiscal and monetary policy, meaning central banks and governments, will provide extra help. Now, speaking of the central banks, today we have the European Central Bank coming up with its monetary policy decision. The hope is that the central bank will increase its asset purchase program. In other words, in very simple meaning, it will provide more help for businesses, and that can soften the blow from coronavirus impact or the overall influence that we are going to see. That's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time.